Let's get straight to it. Oil cooler O-ring replacement on a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder. This is the 3.5 V6 engine. All right. You can see our part right here. You can see that bolt sticking out right on top. That's a 17mm bolt, and you see those two nipples sticking off. That's the passages for the coolant to travel through. We don't need to remove those hose clamps. We should be able to just remove that bolt. It's a 17mm bolt, and once we remove that, then the outer part of the housing should come off, allowing us to get to our O-ring. I have an oil pan down below to catch any excess oil, and I have a 17mm ratchet wrench on that bolt. Now this ratchet wrench is good because it's tight space in here, and you might have to adjust this ratchet wrench just to get it on there and have space to break this bolt. So I have it on here now, so I'm gonna go ahead and break this bolt. All right, just like that, and start to ratchet it off, and you should start to see some oil coming out. Okay, now it's loose enough to where I can get in there and turn that by hand. So I'm going to try to reach my hand up in there. Okay. All right, so that's turning pretty much. That's turning by hand now. You can see the oil starting to drip. So I'm gonna let that drain out a little bit, and then I'll come back and continue to get that bolt out. All right, the majority of the dripping has stopped, so I'm gonna reach from the back side here and finish getting this out. Right, this is what the plug looks like when you get it out. You can see that orange O-ring on the plug, so that has to be replaced as well. I'm gonna take this time to clean this up. Okay, so I have the new gasket in. Before applying the new gasket, dab it in a little bit of oil to get it lubricated, and then pop the gasket inside the plug, and then we can move on to the housing. All right, now that that bolt is all the way out, I can take that housing and remove it. The gasket just fell right out. So there's the old gasket there. It pretty much just fell right out, but it goes right inside of that outer groove there. So like I said, we don't have to remove those lines there because we can replace our gasket without taking this part all the way down. However, in order to clean this, I'm going to have to do it off camera, but you should be able to see what it looks like on the face and those grooves on the outside. So I'm going to take a rag and I'm going to clean those grooves, and then we can install our new gasket. This is what our new gasket looks like. This is the main gasket for the housing. Okay, so you can see on the inner part of here, is where the gasket goes, right along in the inside. Don't worry about that outer part with all the dirt in it. If you want to clean that out, but only if it's going to get in between you getting that gasket in there. But other than that, the gasket just goes in the middle. The inside looks very clean, so I don't need to get in there and bother that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my new o-ring in. Like, again, it goes right in the middle and not on the outside, right on the inside. So let's go ahead and put that in now. Okay, you can see the orange in there. That's the new o-ring. So now that the new o-ring is in place, we can go ahead and reinstall this outer part of the housing and then put our bolt back in. Okay, so I was able to get the bolt in, and so what I did to get the bolt in was I stuck the bolt all the way through before I put the part on. That way I can see the end of the bolt, and then I guided the bolt into the hole. Then I started to thread the bolt in, and that was able to pull the part closer in, versus just putting the part on and sticking the bolt in and blindly trying to find the hole. So once you get that 17mm torqued all the way down, then the job is done, and it's time to let the car down and check our oil. If you let the car down and you start it up and you notice that it's still dripping a little bit, then you might just need to tighten it up a little bit on that bolt, and that should stop your leak. After checking my oil, I noticed it was a little low, so I'm adding some oil to top it off. Alright, I got it running. I'm checking for any leaks, and so far so good. Before I change this out, it will leak instantly right away. So I'm gonna let this get up the temperature, let that oil get flowing, and then to see if my leak stays gone. Alright, so about 10 minutes of running this, and there's still no leak, so I'm gonna call this good. If you liked the video and you thought it was helpful, be sure to hit the like, subscribe button. Also, if you feel this video saved you some money, don't be afraid to leave a little tip in the Cash App. The more reactions and support that I receive is the more content that I'll make.